After an hour, they left. So anyway, they were in the car. So then it's like flashes. He was doing more about it. I kind of watched her. I did that. He could have. I mean, I don't know her out. That's a cool. Yeah. But still, I just like,
Homework if you're going to work on it. So I don't know how much time we get today.
I know, right? What the heck?
Yes! Did you sit next to Stu? Did you have fun yesterday in your face pan? Keep it up. I want to talk about Spencer. Oh yeah, is it so easy to use Thanks, Connor. Yeah. Is it so easier to use your phone? Snapchat? I'm not talking to you. Yeah, you know who's going to I'm not going to talk to you. No. It's the awesome, man.
Yeah, you can use a little color in your life.
That's a... Okay.
You're looking a little dark today.
You're so funny. I don't remember your youth group. You're such a convenience. Oh, yeah. So all you told me is that you're not going to be in our group.
Yeah.
I feel like...
So with me for like a month or two.
What was that? Eric mentioned, please,
It's still on there?
It was in between the seat and the console.
Oh.
I had to
I used to find my alarm to go off this morning. Did the audio or just like Connor?
Back to the room. Back to the room.
She's been a rough one.
Third. Right there, Jonah. Right behind Connor.
Oh, there wasn't Connor.
Ooh, I get to be by star again. How did I get so lucky?
New seats.
Cute.
Probably the way back.
Woo!
Are you okay, come on?
That was morning
What?
practice.
You know,
See him
you
all
stand
this.
past on a scale of 1 too early. It's probably too early.
I can tell you're in that mood.
It's just like the 7:30. It's not going to be bad compared to the afternoon one. So. Oh, yeah.
It's like 4 hours long.
Yes. Give or take a minute.
Thank you.
Give or take an hour.
calling, who plays Monday night tonight? Monday night football?
Okay, today, we're going to take a few notes. Then you'll have some time where you can work on this assignment. Tuesday's assignment, that was stage 284, 5, 10, 14, 26, 32, 36. Those were just like adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing imaginary numbers. The last, 3 or 4, you had to actually graph. And by graph, I mean draw in your notebook. Don't use graph paper. Some of those are like the liners up way too high. And you just had to, do quadratic formulas, see if it actually hits the x-axis. Do complete the square, that kind of thing. Okay, what are you missing today?
They're coming from P. And no, join Schmidt, Tyler, and P.
Yeah, they're moving weird.
Wait, there's muscles joined? Oh.
Okay, alright, we good? Okay, today.
Which ones are we supposed to grab?
Class 46 to 48.
Let's do weight room look.
The doors are not big enough.
Oh, to get equipment in?
Stuff in there? There's nothing. Probably not.
So do you have like change?
So you do have to change.
You know?
For no reason. You do, and then you pretty much have it in there.
But I figured that's
Did you work or did regular people?
Alright, hey, here we go.
Everyone had a chance.
Everyone moved.
Okay, so we're going to go over section 2.2. Now remember, if you haven't checked your grades online, I believe your grades were updated last Wednesday. So if you're missing something, go online, check it out, get it turned in. Late grades, late assignments, tardies, whatever it was, those assignments need to be turned in by this Friday. Otherwise, I don't grade them. So you have this week to get them kind of done, wrapped up. Okay. I'll make the exception for this one, but anything previous, you got to get that turned in. Otherwise, I'm not grading. Because Monday is, I think, midterms. So after that, I don't grade. Okay? All right, let's go through a couple things. I only want to go through a couple problems today on section 2.2 to make sure that we understand, like, why did we learn some of this stuff? Because there's always those sections where we learn kind of an obscure type of math. I think even here. New signature, sorry. All right, we learn some obscure stuff every now and then. I know it's pre-calc, most of the stuff's for engineering, but there's actually a purpose to the stuff we were learning for like an everyday kind of a problem. A lot of people would never realize you can actually use this stuff for just an everyday type of problem, especially in like local businesses can do this. And so I definitely want to talk about some of these. And again, the idea is what we're dealing with is polynomial and rational functions. What we just call them is quadratics, because we're dealing with powers of 2. So it can be any type of polynomial. That's what you need to realize. So goal today, we're going to do a couple quadratic problems. What we're going to do is we're going to apply that to story problems, like actually problem solving with it. And to show you kind of like what we can use it for, that type of thing. Now, obviously the first one I'm going to show you doesn't really apply, but I definitely want to show you an example of what we can potentially use this for. That's the idea. Okay? And again, the whole goal here is practical application. All right, so everyone understand kind of our goals today? I'm just going to intro a couple of these. Maybe tomorrow we'll continue. And we'll get an assignment tomorrow on this stuff. Which it's not very many problems. It's just I want you to know how to do it because it is important. All right, so now the problems I'm picking from, in your book, just so you kind of know like where roughly I'm getting these problems from. Roughly about page 100, it was 63 and 64ish. These are the types of problems. So among the pairs of numbers whose difference is 10, find the pairs of numbers whose product is small as possible. This is going to be our starting problem. I know this doesn't seem like an actual story problem. This is going to be a lead-in to what I want to show you. This is kind of like the easy problem. I'll show you what a hard problem can be. All right. So any pair of numbers whose difference is 10. So like if you pick numbers like 26, difference of that, a difference of 10 would be 16 or could be 36. If I give you 26, you could be any side of that, so you just have to get a difference of 10. But we're finding the pair whose product is as small as possible. The product. What does product mean? The multiply. Yeah. So I want a difference of numbers whose product will be small as possible, and you can get no smaller with this pair. These numbers that are divided by 10. So here's the idea. So here's my function. Okay, so two numbers that differ by 10. So here's the first number. The other number will differ by 10. Be 10 away from it. Does that make sense? I think it's 10 less than that or 10 plus that, whatever you want to call it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to multiply these together, and we're going to figure out the actual value here. So that's x squared minus 10x, and this is my y function. And now what I can do is I can actually figure out what the actual values are, right? So I can complete the square on this problem. If I complete the square, there's nothing to pull up here, there's nothing to move across. So what's half the middle term? 5, square it. 25 is positive, right? Because when you square it, it becomes positive. And that's what I'm adding to the other side. Now, if there was a number that we had to factor out front, we'd have to take the 25 times that, and, whatever that is. And so now at this point, I can now factor the right side up here. This is going to be x minus 10, or sorry, x minus 5, x minus 5. And how I know that, it's just a trinomial, right? It's going to be the same symbols, are going to be both minus signs. You break the 25 evenly and put the x in both. Here's the shortcut. It's just whatever half the middle is. That's how I know what numbers to put in there. I'll show you the shortcut for doing that here in a second. This is kind of what we've been talking about. And now I'm going to actually change this to x minus 5 squared equals y plus 25. And now, here's the thing. By just giving me where the vertex is, that will actually tell you what your numbers are, which is really goofy, right? So what's the vertex on this particular problem? 5, negative 25, right? All right, so here's the idea. The vertex, this number right here, this number represents the x number that we're using originally. It's one of the original numbers. The second number is the actual product. Now, why that's true? Why do I know that that's the product and it's not the y number, right? Because what my function is actually giving me here, what this function is, the y. This is the y thing, right? This is actually finding them, when you multiply numbers together, this is what the y is equal to. So that's why this is representing the product. It's those two things multiplied together. So this number is actually the smallest value. This is actually the smallest value you can get when the numbers differ by 10, and you're multiplying them together. Okay, that's the smallest number you can get. So my x number was 5, and what was the other number? If I plug a 5 in here, what's 5 minus 10? Negative 5. These numbers right here, these are the two numbers that differ by 10. Their difference is 10, and their product is as small as possible. That's the idea. Their product is as small as possible, because when you actually graph this thing, you actually take a look at this. My actual vertex is 5 over negative 25, right? This is the 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Negative 25, and the numbers come up from here. This is the smallest number that we're getting. The x value is 5, and this is the product is negative 25. Everything else goes up. How do I know it goes up? When you look at this original problem over here, what's the number in front of my x squared? It's positive, so it's going up. This is the smallest number you can get with the difference of two numbers that differ by 10. Anything else will be bigger than that. So if I pick a number like negative 4 here, the other number that the other number that differs by 10 is what? Negative 6, and that number is definitely bigger than negative 25. Okay, would you agree that 4 and negative 6 are differ by 10, correct? So when I actually pick those numbers, the product here is actually negative 24. When I pick 3, that'll be a negative 7, and that product is negative 21. It doesn't matter what numbers you pick. The product is always, the one that it will be the smallest number will be the negative 25. It'll be the smallest product you can ever get, no matter what numbers you pick. Isn't that weird? Like, this process can actually give you numbers like that. It can give you, like, the smallest numbers that you can get. Now, you're probably wondering yourself, okay, whatever, what's going on? This little why this is unique, and why I think this is special, is you can do this for some type of business. If you're trying to figure out, what is the greatest amount of money you can make on a product, like the greatest amount of money, you can do that type of product. Like what price do you need to set this at to make the maximum amount of money off of it, as opposed to just selling it for $2 because you want to sell it for $2, that type of thing. So it can be based on a study. So and that's what I want to show you. I want to show you how like somebody can actually use this type of math for like a legitimate reason. And so we have a bunch of examples in here. Like there's a couple with farmers. There's a couple with like sales numbers. But I want to show you. I'm going to actually just do a problem on the board that I can actually show you. Okay, and I'm going to kind of show you this idea between this idea of this product. Okay, so let me pull it. So this will be my last problem today. I'm doing it you at least sometime today. We can actually work, but I do want to like intro this. So somebody give me like a number of customers that would come into your personal shop. 7. Let's go way there. 7 throughout the week.
3,200.
All right, 3,200. We'll go there. Okay. So let's say during the month of November, you have 3,200 customers that come into your shop. Does that make sense? And maybe these customers are buying a cup of coffee. Let's say that's your shop. You have a coffee shop, right? They're buying a cup of coffee. So, and your coffee costs, I don't know, maybe $3. It's like a cappuccino or something like that. So $3, and you get 3,200 people that come in. Okay. So if you want to know like how much money you're making off of your customers, you take the price times how many people come in. Correct. And it'll tell you like if they're buying that one cup of coffee from you, you can get a max amount of money that they're paying. So if I actually multiply these together, I get like $9,600. That's how much money I'm making off these 3,200 customers. Make sense so far? Now, you can do this little study. You can do this on your own, or after a while, if you've seen trends, what you can do is, if I increase the price of my coffee, what's going to happen to your customer base? Yeah, they're going to go down, right? They're not going to buy your coffee if it gets too expensive. But you can find that happy medium where you make the most amount of money. So let's say you did the study, you did a little bit of research, and you found that for every dollar you add, so X will represent dollars, like the number, right? So I'm adding like 1 or 2 or 3. For every X you add onto the price, you're going to lose 100 customers. So for every X you're adding on, you're going to lose that many 100 customers buying coffee. So if you add another $1, 100 people are gone. If you add on $2 here, this will be, you're going to lose 200 customers, right? Because it's the number of dollars times 100 people, right? That's how many you'll lose. Does that make sense now, this idea of what you can do here? And what this is going to represent, like this idea, this formula, is going to represent the maximum amount of money you can make off that coffee. What it's actually going to give you, by just doing this simple idea, it'll tell you what you should set as your price for your coffee so that you can make the maximum amount of money possible. That's what this can do for you. That's why I think this stuff is cool, this quadratic stuff. Because that's what I've been talking about. There's a min-max to a problem. How can you use it? You can use it like this. You can get to an idea of like, what do you need to set as that price so that you can make that sweet spot where you're getting as max amount of money as possible. Because you did this little research and you know how customers change when you change the price. Okay, so we're gonna actually do this math. Now we did it a little bit earlier, right? We said that when you charge $3, how much money do we make? $9,600. But that may not be the best you could do for your company. Maybe you should change the price of the coffee. So that's what this is going to do for us. So, and this is based on a little bit of research. When you changed your price, you lost about 100 customers. So we can use that as our kind of our set here. So I'm going to FOIL this out. So 3 times 3,200 is 9,600. 3 times the negative 100x is negative 300x. X times 3,200 is 3,200x. And x times negative 100 is negative 100x squared. Okay. Makes sense? So I did there, I just FOILed first and last. This is my function. And now what we can do here is now I can solve like it's completing the square problem. I can move things around and I can complete the squares of this problem, and we can actually solve this thing out. This is where I'm going to need somebody that has a calculator, please, because I'm asking you to do some calculations for you. So, Okay, so the first step, I'm going to replace this with a y, and I'm going to move this whole number to the other side. What happens when I move this over? Negative 96. Okay, so far so good. Over here, I'm going to kind of rearrange the stuff and add these together kind of thing. So I'm moving the negative 100 out front, negative 100 x squared. We're going to have to factor that out here in a minute. And when I add these together, I get, what, 2900x? All right? Okay. Questions, comments on how I've done this so far? Add my term, moving around. So I'm completing the square. The completing the square will give me that vertex number, which is either going to be the minimum and maximum. Now, in this graph, which direction is this graph going? It's going down. So what this graph's going to give me is the maximum amount of money I can get. Maximum amount. Not the minimum amount, maximum. So what I'm going to do here first, let's factor out the negative 100. So if I take out a negative 100, divide a negative 100 out, that's x squared. Divide a negative 100 off of this thing, I'm left with negative 29x. Make sense? Taking off the negative 100 out of it, dividing it. And on this side, I'm moving this one. Okay, we good so far? Okay, half the middle squared. So half the middle is 29 over 2, and we're going to square that. And this is where I need kind of a little bit of help here. So 29 squared is a huge number, and that's all over 4. So what's 29 squared based on 29? Yeah, but I like the fraction.
841.
I like the fraction because it's more clean and we have this crazy distance. That way I know how to factor it. Okay. All right, so that's half the middle, so just putting 2 on the bottom and then squaring it with this. Is that right? Okay. Okay, and now I'm going to have to add a number to the other side. Now the number I'm actually adding over is I'm taking the 841 over 4 times the number out front, which is, negative 100, right? And then I'm adding that to the other side. So I'm taking this 841 over 4 times a negative 100. Now I know the answer is going to be negative, so I know I'm going to have some negative number over here. Taking the 104, and this is 100 over 1, by the way. Dividing these both by 4, left with 1 and a 25, right? That's 100 divided by 4. And when I take 25, negative 25, I should say, times the 841, because there's 1s on the bottom, I don't need the 1s in there. So what's 25 times 841? Say again?
Negative 21,000.
25 like that? That's a big number. So that's taking negative 25 times the 841. The reason why I did that is the 100 and the 4s. Make sense? Like that's why I did it. That's why I like the whole thing. You did the decimals. Okay. I just like the fractions. Okay, so now that I got this side over here can factor apart. I'll leave the negative 100 out front because I don't care about it. And those numbers over here, I need to actually add those together because they're both negatives. So what I'm going to get here is negative 100, and hopefully somebody's adding these up for me. And I'm going to factor this side apart, so that is x minus, and then half the middle is 29 over 2. That's half the middle squared. And I think, what do you say, it was 13 half, 14 half, something like that? What is 29 over 2? 14 half? Okay. So that's 14 half, you did that. On this side, what does this add up to be?
30,625.
Negative 30,625? Okay. Okay, so did everyone see what I did here? Okay, so what this is doing, I've got down to my final standard form. What is my vertex on that final answer? So what's the number with the x? 29 over 2. 30,625. Okay, make sense? Now, you're probably wondering, okay, what is this? What is it giving me? This is the x number that you should increase your profit margin by. That didn't make sense to the item that I picked. But what it's telling me is that I should increase my price by $14.50. And you're like, what? For a cup of coffee? It's whatever this product is. Because obviously you did some test. This is giving you your max amount of money. If you increase your price of that item, this is my X. I'm increasing my $3 item by $14.50. This is your profit margin you're going to see if that work were to hold true. If your customers were to actually legitimately hold to that standard, that if, for every dollar you increase, you lose about 100 customers. So I'm going to increase my dollars by 14.5. So I'm going to lose so many customers, but look how much money I'm making now. Even though I lost customer base, right? I lost a lot of customers. I lost, what, 14.5, 100 people, was it 1,400 people? 1450? That's how many customers I lost? I still had customers that were paying me $17.50 for this item. And that made up for their losses. This is how companies do it. They figure out by some way that when they start increasing prices, they find a happy sweet spot. Now, obviously, this doesn't make sense for coffee. No one's going to sell $70 for coffee, but this is the idea that you can use this. But what also has to be true is that your customers have to hold to this. That for every dollar increase, you lose about 100 customers every time. Now, obviously, with a cup of coffee, that makes a difference. This would be for some product that they want to purchase. But does that make sense? Like how you're seeing that now? Isn't that weird that you can use this to predict max amount of profits you can make by just knowing this little simple trick that every time you increase a price, you lose a couple customers every time. Okay, tech companies do this all the time. Apple does this a lot. They just did it recently in their MacBooks. Now they increased all the prices on their MacBooks, and it wasn't a little bit; it was a lot of it. They went from that. What was the entry MacBook? Like $799, $899? Okay, it was something like that, right? It was like $899. Their entry MacBook now is $1,400. That's their entry MacBook anymore. They jumped because they knew they don't care they're going to lose those lower customers, those poor customers. They don't care anymore. They know that they're going to make that money up in the long run anyway. Isn't that weird? You can just cut off a whole customer base. Because that's what it's doing here. That's what you're doing. You're literally cutting off all the customers who could afford an average cup of coffee because you're going to get all those people that are super rich, and that's going to make the cost. Now, it's a terrible business model, but I mean, that's like consumer 101. You're making way more money. Look at the difference in money. It makes you question a little bit. Okay, but that's what I want to show you here. How can you use this stuff? All right, now obviously the cup of coffee thing didn't make sense, but you get the idea behind it, right? Okay, tomorrow we'll practice a couple more of these because I do want to show you one with a farmer, how they can increase area of land, because that applies more to us because a lot of our students are farmers. Right? And I'll do another one another company where you increase prices. Okay, all right, makes sense? Okay, rest time is yours. You can work on this assignment, page 284. Let's try to get wrapped up today if you can. Hand up some papers. Yeah.
Oh, and wait, I see that. I have no clue how to do that.
No,
No, is that Iowa State?
What am I going to miss?
Thursday will be notes. So you can form video. Yeah, have some old paper here.
I think I would put this on kind of side of good Iowa.
Usually so. Anyway.
I did
Got a
that.
homely family, it'll be fine. Somebody to take you in. Spencer. Star. Yep. And Jack. We go Jack. Yeah. Right next. John. Taylor, here you go. Jack.
Jonah, have you finished your paper? Wherever you are.
Yeah, it's about half a page. Yeah. double space, 12 text lines.
Just make it
Yeah,
like
but,
18.
like if you want to really make up your points for your.
No. That's not what we're talking
So
Yeah, but
honestly,
it could be
Alright, so last few days, I was kind of going at it with Eric Williams. He said some things, I said some things. I threw a ball at him, he threw a ball at me. He had some marker on his forehead, so I showed him that. And he grabbed the marker, he sat on me, held me down, and he colored all over my face.
Okay, I didn't want to act ignorant because it was not Ash Wednesday or something like that, so like,
So like we.
it's gotta be something.
Yeah.
Hey, he's listening to high. I thought it was Wednesday.
Yeah.
What?
just put it in.
I planned on scrubbing it off this morning as much as I could.
It threw me off since you walked in, like, I don't know if he realizes he has stuff all over his face. Maybe he was working on like an art project. He just got really into it.
I just said I was going to scrub it off this morning and my alarm didn't go off. I was almost late for school.
Man, I didn't almost want to ask, but I had to. All over my face.
We need 5 extra points.
Same for, I use one called, it's like,
Wait, what's the name?
Positive pop quiz today.
Tyler, that was not cool. I'm having a bad day.
What?
I'm not even doing it.
What time was the lie about?
He said there's a pop quiz in English.
There is special test.
Oh.
Man, the amount of times I've read these, like, 1 out of 10.
All you do is thank you letter.
Sorry, Dave.
Oh, dude. What do we do today?
Thank you letter.
That's it. What
let's
about...
go.
You read it.
Does anybody have any candy in there? Zach, like I planned this morning, I'm like taking a long shower and just spending time scrubbing it off. But my alarm didn't go off and I was
No,
always
you
late
didn't
for
wake
band.
up.
So I just, like I woke up, I just jumped in my car and left.
So,
Don't make sure it's actually had comes to like this.
Jump in your car.
Abby's so cool
Did
and
you
sharp,
find that?
right? And,
Yes.
she,
Can you turn it on
right
Friday?
before she left, runs up on air games, holds on his face, and she sprints out.
That wasn't me.
T always died laughing. He's like making fun of her. And Aaron gets up, he hits his arms down, draws a mustache and sharpie, covers his nose in it, then he goes high.
Is that this funny?
I have a video of it.
So that.
Didn't you always just like,
Yeah, I don't know. What I do usually is I don't like I go back to book. I write down like then I read the steps. I just like I read what it says. Sometimes I say it better than like the book does all the time. Sometimes I say
That's
it
the United States of America.
I write that down and then I read it highlight and then write the book.
Hey, you want to see a
My
video?
favorite
He's
thing
looking at sharp
about
ass
it is
face.
that once you do the drop,
Check this out.
so if I got another one close to that, then it'll
Don't write that paper.
His story was like 10 minutes
I really
long,
wanna get,
splitting
like,
bottles.
What? Yeah, what?
I don't want to
And then Eric grabbed me.
I wanna get
He
like
grabbed my
this.
head, started slamming me into that whiteboard.
He threw you onto the couch.
Oh.
Stevie wouldn't know he left
Yeah.
early.
No, I saw Snapchat stories.
How'd you leave so early?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Connor, is this ready?
She adds
You
a,
guys have been warned.
Tyler, she has a review F to it. And due tomorrow.
And this is the thing that we did in class, right?
Yeah.
Which one? Tell me.
This is the thing that we turned
The
in.
last one's right.
Review A? Yeah. You're supposed to print it.
I left early because of the pep rally. I actually got kind of lucky. But I didn't finish the game time. I gotta get through today.
Not how I get
I gotta go home. I think I might just go home sick. After coming down with something on my face. I'm getting this big black patch on my face.
I can vividly see an eye.
I don't know. I was laughing so hard I couldn't fight back.
You were literally.
I know.
I mean,
Yeah.
you couldn't have fought back
Like,
anyway.
I
You
was
kicked your
not
arms.
playing there, but at least.
Yeah, it was really good. Apparently the first time you attacked me, like, slammed my head in the thing. When you started picking me up, I was going to flip the box.
See, I missed that whole probably 10 minutes. Because I was in the other room trying to get the teaching work in the other room. I was trying to set it up with the internet. And then I was going to get the first try video going. And I was going to turn it up super loud. And then it wouldn't connect to the internet.
You wait until there's, like, the smallest witnesses possible before you start beating me up. But I got it on camera.
I got it on camera too. Just wait till Wednesday. We'll get him.
I'm going to get him back when I'm going to egg his car.
I'm going to egg his truck.
Actually, I'd have to buy a lot of eggs.
And you
Just drop them at Bill's.
I'll just saran wrap his truck.
I have saran wrap in my car.
I know.
I have 3 rolls of it.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to saran wrap his truck. I mean, yesterday, I locked myself in the car for 10 minutes because of Jason. Yeah. And then he set Spencer.
I drove by last
He
night.
set to chase me and locked
And you
myself in
didn't
the car.
I drove by like that.
You're up on. I left at like 9:10, so.
Yeah, I left at 9:30.
Oh wait, I must have left at 9:30 then, because we left at the same time.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if past
I
9:10.
felt earlier than that.
Just thinking of that or what?
I don't know what made me so mad. I think it's because I got her in the gym for the skateboard.
Okay, he was riding a skateboard, drills Eric and shit.
Like, I go up to him, I'm just looking at him, and I just slid into his leg.
Tyler, Eric had his phone in his hand at the time.
And he
It's
slid
in
like
the
that.
shit. He chucked Tio's phone as hard as he could at Tio. It was so funny. Yeah. And then he 6-stepped on him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he had Steph chasing me. And then that's when I locked myself in my car.
Yeah,
For like 10 minutes.
And then, I don't even remember, you chucked a bottle at him. There was a pop-off.
I was sitting on the ground, I just pulled my room chest.
Jack, did they ever fix that thing that fell out of the ceiling?
You gotta, okay, you know what, I gotta actually use something funny. On my phone. Come on.
Jack, I
Tell
want
me
to
later.
Can I send Tyler?
You can show after school.
Smile got poster?
I have a picture of that poster on my phone. Oh, it's a story. Oh, it's hurt.
What? It's like, I didn't even hit you, man.
It didn't even hit you. Where's hurt?
Star.
Oh, awesome.
Yo, everybody turned on me yesterday. I was attacked.
That was just the one we did in class.
Verbally and
Trying to see where
physically.
you guys were at.
Jack, I was attacked yesterday.
Yeah, you were.
Here's the target.
Physically and emotionally. You were attacked.
Nick.
Every day. Eric hates me a little bit more.
You know what I just realized? I won't be able to go to Wednesday churches. It's basketball.
That's rough. Jack, it's not gonna be the same.
Wait,
Yeah, you will.
we can't have practice past 6 on Wednesday.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Jack.
Really?
Ford, I thought this wasn't graded.
What?
It's not.
Tio never mind, I'll be there, man.
It was just
What?
something
I'll
we
never miss
took
that.
score in class, kind of see how well you did.
I got you.
That was just our pre-chapter 1 check.
Jack. Tyler, I got 16 out of 10. Jack.
No, I
One of your
know
home basketball games on my birthday.
What?
One of your home basketball games on my birthday.
I want to salute you.
I'm a signature.
From the bench.
Bench?
Yep.
Alright. Man. Like, I had like, I'm not really?
What?
Yeah. Really? I said really?
I didn't see. Did you get Eric?
But I'm like, I was recording on the video, so I got like one. He just kept moving his head in the right way. I mean, it wasn't that really hard. I was not just like, couldn't do anything about it.
Did you get? No, you sharpened your
No, I didn't even put the Sharpie on there.
Yeah, it says because it's first year. Seniors. I didn't know it was his first year.
It's his first year ever playing basketball.
Yeah, whatever.
Seth and Bryson only guys.
What?
Seth and Bryson only guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna get Eric back.
It was funny. Whenever we ever,
Wait,
What?
I've never even thought about that.
About what?
Oh, Bryce is right in front of Caitlin again.
I've never thought about that.
church?
About what?
They're the only two guys.
Oh.
Didn't cross my mind.
It's Bryce and Seth.
I heard from Seth and Bryce's dad.
That probably defeats every statistics ever shown about PreCalculus.
What?
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 That there's more guys in there than girls.
There's like, two guys.
There's only two guys in there. That defeats all statistics.
Or did you say that, this is part of the statistics?
Stats is easy.
I've never taken statistics.
Stats
I
is
never
so
had to
easy.
in college. I took like an intro, but it was like one semester intro, like what you use it for education, but that's it. It wasn't like all the only class I took for math were like all calculus classes. So
Yeah, did I know your stats next year? Or is it your math?
Like,
Take both. Take both.
yeah, I
What
took
time do you
56
do, like,
credits worth of
It's
math.
like easy.
Huh?
And
But you want to get in? Cause I'll come.
one of them.
How many crazy years?
I'll totally just.
I'm taking it
I think
because
with
it's like
a
real
arts
world
and
math.
sciences degree, I think you have to
It's using their resources.
That's just like being on 10%.
He doesn't even show up.
That's why it takes about 4 years.
I almost started to know it before.
I didn't work
We have to at least get something in this car, just in case you like.
Wait, Ward.
Just in case he comes
So if
out.
I doubled up this year, do I have to take a math
Instead
class
of
next
touching
year?
it
Either way, next
I
time.
would take super math.
Either way,
I'm gonna have 5 years.
here's what I always recommend to people that graduated. They always recommend to go as far as you can in math, because then you don't have to get to college, or you take the college and then wait. That's what they always recommend. If you're remotely even thinking about it, the reason why is that you will test out college math. Which I know
Do
is
what?
goes for
What is that actually trying to do? Wait, you made it in your car.
See, I'm debating
I think like Calvin College is way harder than
Like on that Alex stuff, dude. That's how like.
and English.
Oh, so did they leave?
Then me and Eric did a street go and go shaking all over the night. That's when I took a bottle of his chest. And then
Wait, was
You
there?
usually got a minor in history.
What happened? What like what's it? Like
One or two.
like the cheerleader one? The cheerleader one?
No, I think it was a Gatorade bottle that had pop in it.
That's when I got out of the truck.
You guys like just made up.
Yeah, this admin shirt.
Shoved it out when you got up and
You were cracking. I was space for a second.
That was.
Then he checked my phone
I
right back.
fear the dragon. Let's get used
I don't know why you let him have his rebuttal.
Yeah, what?
I don't even know how he
Still
got
waiting.
that.
And it's becoming the like that main street.
But so how did this start then?
From this, I just looked at June sports. And then he sat down on the couch.
My phone
I just started pointing at him. And I just comes over and pulls my arms down. Sits
Bigger than yours.
That's scary.
Tio, this is what I'm thinking. Wednesday, we bring like 4 different colors of Sharpies. And you have in your hand, and you just go to town on it. And like, we all hold it down.
How am I going to get Eric?
We're hold it down.
Jack can put Eric down.
Me,
Guys,
Stu,
you know,
and
slash all these tires in your car.
I feel like Eric is. Jack, this is what we're going to do.
me,
Sounds
Stu,
like a lot
and
like
Dave.
our
That's too scary.
like
This
a
is what I'm
moment
going to
Randy
do.
from
I'm going to leave church somewhere, run out this truck.
You're not getting
When he comes out of the church, I'm going to yell stuff about the truck. I'm going to drive away.
Wait.
Like, I'm not going to stay so you do something. I'm just going to leave.
Are you actually going to do that?
Yeah. Just like under the door, just the cab.
Touch the top of the keyboard.
It's like a digital keyboard.
Just the top,
Yeah, you
top
need
menu
two
keys
people
are on,
go
and
under,
click
throw it
the
down.
touch bar, it's all graphics.
Well, Eric doesn't know who he's messing with.
Don't do it too early though, because I'm gonna be there. I can't get there till like 9 really.
I'm gonna tell him that I
Yeah,
came to school with Mark.
I'd be lying if I said
Everyone at the old school made fun of me. And
You need
we,
to go to the guidance counselor.
I had to go to the guidance counselor. Now I
If
should
you were to
do this
open the
guy.
case,
That's not even telling him. He's probably just say like, good, you have a problem. You don't have a
If I were to be on the Android, I'd probably get this.
It's like okay.
Or on Steam, maybe I'll put some hot sauce.
So it's like you know what?
How do you?
No matter how much you